Hi there. Today I want to talk to you about increasing productivity. I've been a part of many businesses. Over 27 jobs altogether I've held within the last 20 years. Okay, that may sound like a lot, but to me it's not. It's been a complete gain of a full spectrum of learning, do's and don'ts, what is good, what is not good, through trial and error. I've also been a part of 5 different businesses that I've built from the ground up. And however, not everyone's been successful. I've always learned something from each encounter. From owning restaurants, to working on asphalt, to building roads, to running a paint shop. All of these different things have taught me, sculpted me, and these things that I've learned I want to share with you today. First and foremost, one of the things about increasing productivity, and this can be defined as harnessing a teamwork environment to where things, items, ideas, and workload becomes more efficiently produced. Not just in overall output, but in reliability and long-term productivity. That's long-term efficiency of a product being produced. Okay? One of the most important things to this is believing that it is possible. You've got to know the limitations to believe that it is possible. If you don't believe that your employees can increase in their productivity, that environment, that vibe, that energy will be transferred to them in every aspect of what you say, what you do, and what you think will be intertwined in the relationship at which you part from employer to employee. Do understand that the productivity will vary from day to day. We're not robots here. We're not machines. We are human beings. We have a natural rhythm, productivity. Some days you're on, some days you're off. That's part of life and part of the scope of productivity, and something that, as a manager, you need to take into realization when you're dealing with a human staff. The other thing comes from the U.S. Department of Labor. They came out with a statistic that's through years and years and years of study, thousands and thousands and thousands of workers, that after 8 hours, the productivity of a human being decreases almost by 50%. Okay? So that means after an 8-hour workday, for each hour after that, productivity can be expected to come down 50% as a whole. That's something extremely important to keep in mind. If you're in an environment where working overtime is a regular requirement, do understand that for the overtime pay that you're paying, you're receiving a lot less work. In fact, you're paying up to twice as much for the same amount of work to be done. Important part number 2 is be able to look past problems to see strengths. Often we have employees that have some real issues that they may be facing, some incompatibilities in certain parts of their life. Our job is to find their strengths and to match those strengths with their job. Oftentimes this means transferring departments for an individual. Sometimes this may even be that they're just not fit for the company profile. And in that case, decisions have to be made based upon a perfect fit for an individual. Over the lifespan, if an individual is not matched correctly with his or her strengths and job title, you often get far less productivity from that person. Our next point is working on growing strengths that they do have. This is extremely important. If we take a strength of a person and we put them in an area where they're able to use those full strengths, we will notice that their natural weaknesses even begin growing stronger and stronger and stronger. This occurs by a natural phenomenon of a human being building confidence through doing skills that they enjoy or that they're natural at. It builds a sense of achievement in the person. So be very keen at this and noticing what a certain person is good at. We want to place them in an environment where they're able to naturally produce these things, and then slowly begin to broaden their strengths as they naturally progress. Simply identifying these strengths in your workers will also change your mindset towards the believability that they can improve their productivity. Okay? Because we've seen their strengths, we now will look to them with different eyes of hope, which will encourage their internal psyche that they can do it themselves. The key word is that there's a lot of undercurrent occurring in our natural beliefs being transferred to their productivity and their ability to get the job done. Point number 3 is so often overlooked, is you've got to create an environment that's fit for humans. There's been a trend in productivity over the last decade where technology has begun impacting the work environment so much to where we often are so accustomed to a computer being able to manipulate things on a perfect schedule, flawless, that we, without even thinking about it, expect that amount of reliability from a human being, which is totally out of the question to ask and foolish on our part, and only going to lead to neglected workers and workers that don't feel appreciated. So our first and foremost is to create an environment fit for humans. How do we do this? We do this by fostering an environment that's built on teamwork, that's built on interpersonal relationships. Okay, we want to be able to harness the teamwork that's naturally built when two individuals come together, often in a place outside of work. This is built through team productivity meetings where we go on team retreats together. We do things outside of the workplace to help harness and build a natural relationship that's stronger than a productivity and environment. Once this natural relationship is built, we notice that they can then move forward with their relationship with the company, and there's a natural bond that occurs. A personal connection begins to establish. Teamwork is fostered through this personal connection. Team building seminars do a great job of this. So again, if our workplace is designed in such a way to where we have the mindset of tight corners, strict environment, a rigid work schedule that doesn't allow for personal creativity and personal time building, then we've shot the long distance approach to a short-term productivity that's not going to last. Productivity without sustainability ultimately is not desirable in the long haul. If your company wants to stay alive for a legacy, you've got to start implementing these policies of creating an environment fit for humans. So again, to cap over all of our points here, number 1, believe that it is possible and know the limitations of your workers. Number 2, be able to look past problems to see strengths. And number 3, create an environment that's fit for humans. And I want to thank you very much for joining me in this short video. Have a wonderful day, and I appreciate you taking time to listen to these wonderful tips on increasing productivity, live from Lone Star College. Have a great day.